think that Yaxel Lendeborg was going to say, you know what, I'm going to pass up on potentially being a top 20 pick in the NBA draft. You know what? I'm going to pass up on the opportunity to in all likelihood, have a 4-year guaranteed deal at the NBA level. I'm going to come back to Michigan. I'll be honest. I did not see that one coming. Out of all the decisions that we've seen this offseason, Goodman, I think that Yaxel Lendeborg coming back to Michigan is probably the one that caught me by the most surprise.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. I think most people thought, from listening to him, he was more in than out.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I think a lot of these guys that are projected to go in that 20 to 40 range, they're waiting for some sort of guarantee that's not going to be there. Teams aren't guaranteeing guys in the 20s right now because, again, they don't know who is going to fall. So they're waiting to hear guarantee. They're not getting it. And then they look over there like Yaxel does, and he's seeing $3 million guaranteed. That is a guarantee of about $3 million on the table to go to Michigan and play high major basketball, which he's never played in his life. And it's I don't want to say easy decision, but not that difficult because ultimately you want to get yourself into that position. And he's saying, if I do what I think I can do at Michigan this year, then I can be in a position to maybe get, in that 10 to 20 range. And that's not nearly as risky.
Yeah. And when you are Yaxel and you're looking at what Dusty May was able to do last year with Danny Wolf and turn him from like a guy that was an interesting player at Yale that no one really thought was going to be all that much in the Big Ten into a guy that is actually going to be a top 20 pick this year and was a second team All-American, and the success that they had, it's very easy to understand why that decision was made and the thought process that he went through. I just, the question that I kind of have with Yaxel and kind of how this process played out is, when you are a guy like him, right, that has not played at the high major level, it's very easy to come to conclusions on the potential for what he could be, right? Whereas when you come back to school, you're giving NBA teams more opportunity to pick apart your tape. And if you don't have the same kind of season, then all of a sudden a little bit of that intrigue and that, like, yes, this is what he could be, can come down a little bit. So it takes, I guess my point is, when you come back, it's easier for scouts to kind of pick holes in who you are. When you come back, it's instead of being like, this is what he does well, it turns into this is what he's not great at. So I just wonder if that's a risk that he's going to end up taking by coming back to school, which could be fixed by, just kind of kicking ass in the Big Ten.
Michigan, obviously, brought in a lot of transfers. I want to see how these pieces fit together. Elliot Cadeau, a point guard, true point guard, which Dusty May did not have a year ago, but a guy who's, perimeter shot challenged. Got Roddy Gale back, Namari Burnett back. You bring in Yaxel and Morez Johnson up front. Daimara,
Trey McKinney.
Bring him in for UCLA. So you've got a big, talented front line. My question is perimeter shooting with this team. Will they be good enough collectively? Yaxel shot about 36, I think, from three last year. Mara is not a guy who can really stretch it. Morez is not a guy who's shown the ability to pick and pop yet. That's my biggest question is, I have them certainly in the top 25, maybe even top 10-ish. But the question is, how do these pieces fit?
Yeah, I think that the fit there, you're worried about the fit with Florida. I'm more worried about the fit with Michigan. A couple other things that I just want to hit on before we unveil my updated preseason